It's a giant sweatshop. Originally there were 3 animators when they just started off, Hosa included. Now they are at 12 without Hosa. They get paid an inconsistent $450 Canadian per month at best. But during my investigation, he says this to me, and this is to quote Dan, "People will leave eventually. No one plans on staying at one place forever." And that was his excuse to do nothing about the animation team.
NANI?!
This really isn't a laughing matter because it seems to be that it's getting confirmed from multiple sides that Dan's paying his animators like sweatshop wages. So for those raging with the passion of 1,000 suns, I'm gonna link you to some of the other videos that might be able to better wet your whistle. I was actually asked quite a few times to make a commentary video after Jay put out his video, but instead I thought I'd do something a little more special. What we're gonna do is take a leaf from the tree of irony and showcase this shit show from Steven to Jay by raising up a mirror to DanPlan's own style and content. So if you're like me and you like to laugh through the tears, this video is probably for you. Especially since it seems like I bogarted a bunch of subscribers from DanPlan. Also, all the primary sources I used for this video are in the description down below. And genuinely, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. You guys are the best fans DanPlan could ever hope for. There are so many comments along the lines of, "Everyone, please stop attacking Dan." So I started attacking. I took a quick scroll between Twitter and YouTube, and that's like 90–95% of the comments. And if you're listening, Daniel, no, that's not attacking. You have some of the most thoughtful and patient fans in the world. A lot of them are still reserving judgment until you come out with your side of the story, which we don't even know if we're getting at this point. Treasure them, DanPlan. Tossing them out in the cold is not something a very smart businessman like yourself should be doing. Then it's gonna be back to the occasional commentary, crusty old book reviews, flavorless video essays, tone-deaf vlogs, and maybe another animation of the stars align. Jesus Christ, my channel's such a mess.
Okay, so for this, I'm gonna be Daniela, okay? Let's pretend I'm like the brains behind this entire thing. I come up with the ideas, all that jazz. I have green hair because...
What'd you expect?
So Tiff, you're gonna be Stephanie.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my alter ego.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it really is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's why when you go clubbing, it's Stephanie.
I need an alter ego name. Okay.
Daniela, apparently.
No, not that one. That one's too like... Oh, you're gonna have like purple Skrillex hair.
What's Skrillex?
Oh, you don't know who Skrillex is?
I do not know what Skrillex is. Is that a person?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember what's her face? The character that Natalie Dormer played in Mockingjay? Her hair?
Natalie
Dormer? The Marjorie Tyrell?
Oh, yeah.
Her
like
hair?
half shaved off.
Shaved off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like cool.
Exactly.
Really.
Very cool. Okay, so your character is gonna be like very cool, very chill, but also like super funny and charismatic. Joey, you're gonna be Josefina.
Okay. Josefina.
Yep, okay. Josefina, you're like super shy, super quiet, introverted, but like a really nice person and a peacemaker, essentially. You'd rather have everyone get along rather than risk all-out war.
Okay.
And you're like, I'm gonna say gray colored. You're yeah.
I am entirely gray colored.
Your hair is gonna be gray and you get like a cute ponytail.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
The trendy hair.
Yes. Okay, so let's get started. So it's about 5 years ago. We're just like tiny tots in middle school or high school. I see that Josefina, you are like super good at art and even won an award for animation at school or something. And
This is the first I've heard of it, but okay.
So I'm like, oh my god, I have like an Oscar in video editing. We can start a YouTube channel together. This will be great. What do you say?
No.
What? Why not?
No one cares about the Oscars. Call me when you have the Nobel Prize.
Okay, I spent like 20 years getting the Nobel Prize. Then you're in?
Yeah, okay.
So we start out by making some gameplay videos.
What kind of gameplay?
I don't know. What kind of games are you into?
Overcooked! And maybe some Harvest Moon.
Okay, so that's like a cooking game, right? Okay.
Yep.
So it's not like we're like the big 3 level of quality. It's more like I'd watch this on the toilet level of quality. So then Josefina, you're like, hey, let's bring Stephanie in. She's funny, she's likable, she's quirky. With her personality, videos are gonna pop a lot more. And I'm like, sure, why not? So then Stephanie joins the team. Keep in mind the channel is like still a baby at this point, like toddler stage at most.
So the 3 of us basically started this channel together, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Then what
I have that on
happens?
record.
Most animations before us were like story times, movie parodies, and infographics. And then we popularized this new subgenre of animation. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure story, kind of like the one we're in now. Wink, wink.
Ironic.
Stephanie, you have a really unique way of approaching these scenarios based on your personality. You're like the most outgoing one. Like you'd be going into mental asylums at night, fighting your clone, all that stuff. And Josefina, you'd probably let Stephanie go charge in first and collect all the power-ups she dropped behind her.
Yeah, I'm probably the person from Halo which like hides in the corner and then like lets the person respawn constantly to cheat the game.
Wait, hold on. So I have to be the powerful one that's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Gryffindoring.
Yeah,
everything.
you're basically you're basically Gryffindoring it through the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah. So the 3 of us, our videos start like blowing up. Like Markiplier might know us if we bumped into him at VidCon. Okay, that's a stretch. maybe kind of like what is it? Odds Ones Out or Jaden Animations. Like this goes over the course of a few years. Then just last year, Stephanie, you're like, huh? Wait a sec. How much is this channel actually making? Cause I'm getting like pennies over here.
How much is it actually?
These are estimates because the real numbers haven't really been released, but it should be pretty darn close to accurate. Let's say for 1 month you get $300 while the whole pie is worth like $43K. And that's not including merch or sponsorships, which are the real moneymakers on YouTube.
How much is Josefina getting?
Supposedly 50-50 split with me. Just for sure, you're getting less than 1% of the pie.
Well, that's really messed up. I thought you said we were friends.
Yeah, but I'm kind of a meathead and I like money.
What?
What? You never tried to get a hooker for free? It's not easy.
Wait, you have experience with that?
I do, in fact.
Well, we did get by Tijuana together, so...
Okay, so anyway, Stephanie, you didn't really get through to me. I made it seem like $300 is way more than you're worth. Like, you don't do any of the animation or editing, you just talk into a mic. So you're trying to say like, oh my god, why am my friend such a greedy hoe?
Oh.
Well, because
okay.
1% is egregious. I think we have to I think we're all in agreement with that, right?
Yeah.
1% is way too low.
Wait, sorry. Yeah, I think I forgot to take into account that you refuse to compromise.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
yeah.
okay?
Yeah. No founding member of the group should be getting less than 1%. But I'm like, meh, you're not a founder. You're an employee. Okay, spell it with me now, guys. EMPLOYEE. This went way smoother in my head, by the way. But anyway.
Employee? Wait, you said that I was there from the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. Definitely when the channel exploded. So now what? What do you do?
I'd probably choose to leave.
Okay, so you think about leaving, but Josefina is trying really hard to duct tape this sinking ship together. And she's such a sweetie pie, you don't want to let her down. So you stick it out for longer, trying to prove your worth. You're thinking, like, maybe if I improve the character that is the most engaging on the channel, you'll see my worth.
I'm trying really hard to make this work then.
Yeah, but I still haven't budged. At this point, we're big enough where we can hire animators, and Josefina's slice is getting cut, animators are getting peanuts, you're getting peanuts. It's basically just like a huge peanut party. I even bring in a potential replacement for Stephanie, and she doesn't even get a single nut.
Wait, not entirely correct. I think I was actually brought in to replace Hosa.
What are you doing?
Hey, why doesn't Steven have a stake in the channel like you and Hosa?
Oh, that's because he's not one of the originals. He doesn't really care about the channel, and you know what? He was on his phone during a 4-hour recording. Twice!
Hey, if you're looking for excuses, I know where you can find some. Why does this say you're paying your animators like $4.50 on a good month?
Stop looking through my stuff.
Wait, you know that's less than minimum wage? Wait, is that why you have to keep cycling through animators and you have to keep hiring more?
So then, Steph, what do you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a shitty situation.
And I have tried talking to you, right?
Yeah.
I tried showing my worth to you, right? Like with comments and stuff.
Yes.
I think I'm out at this point. You clearly don't see any value in me.
Unfortunately, the title of this video is kind of rigged. You can't win. There's no winning in this situation. Steven doesn't win. Dan doesn't win. Hosa and the animators are kind of stuck in the middle. Basically, no one wins. I guess we'll just say that we didn't clearly define, like, say you get 15%, you get like 20% or something,
Right.
because we're friends.
Right.
Because we're friends and money complicates things, right?
Yeah.
So I just didn't really, I guess I didn't really disclose a lot of that, or even though I paid you guys, especially Joey, I suppose, like it just wasn't transparent how much the channel was, because it's like, say if we made 1K a month and each person got 300, that's fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But say if the channel was making 50,000 a month and I only paid you 300 each, that wouldn't be fair. It's all relative based on that scale, based on how well the channel's doing.
Yeah, and it started out small, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
gradually grew bigger.
Started out with us three, so, or us two, and then added in, but really added in the beginning. So you're pretty much, like, once the animation stuff happened, you're pretty much a founding member. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about my share and then whatever I think would.
Okay,
like,
but yeah, as long as you like think about what's fair for you. Too,
yeah,
so,
that's what I
yeah.
think would be fair for me. But then it does complicate things that Tiff is almost like a star. It's kind of like those newscasters where like the personality are the people in the newscasters, like
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah.
It's funny if you think about that. They actually get paid.
They paid more because
Yeah.
they're the
big
face.
bucks.
They're
Yeah.
the face of it,
Yeah,
and they're the ones that
exactly.
bring in, I guess, in a way, a lot of the views and stuff.
Yeah.
So like between a movie star and a production crew.
Well, personally, let's say if this is like me in a situation, I do believe that the artists and editors and like the production crew needs to be paid their fair share, like in the conventional, entertainment industry, like we just talked about, right? Usually it's the whoever is on the face of the media, right in front of the camera, that gets the big bucks. But then, I mean, I think in a way, like just like when we watch like the VFX artists react, they were talking about how like sometimes they might not be paid fairly, right? So I don't believe in that. I think whoever, like, animation is hard, right? And then editing is hard. So I will understand all of that, and I definitely wouldn't believe that I deserve 1/3 of the cut. I think fundamentally it doesn't matter how popular the channel gets.
Right.
If I don't really put an idea to start the script, like, because you like hit spears, like, oh yeah, let's do this script today, let's do that script next time, right? So if you do that and then Joey does all the drawing drawings, and that animation is difficult, right? So then I definitely think you guys will probably have to put in more time than me appearing for like an hour recording session for what, like 3 times a month.
But also, I guess I didn't tell you this part, but also when I create the script and stuff, I do send it around to you guys so you know if there's anything to prepare for.
Right.
Like if
Ask
you
for input.
yeah, because like, so when I send scripts out, it's like you guys can read through it, and if there's like specifically, it's funny because I think a lot of it's really rare for people like to be on the spot really funny. So I would say a lot of your stuff, you still work hard on it, and you still have to like come up with ideas to like put into the script too.
I see.
Because you're like the adventure person on this like journey type of thing, the types of animation we're doing, right?
Okay.
So I just want to say that because I was like, I think you're discounting yourself a little bit, but also I didn't preface that.
Oh.
So yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking about like my own stuff that I do with my other friends. It's just like, I don't do the ground, like, it's feeling like if I don't do the groundwork, yes, I do have to come up with ideas and stuff, but then it's like I don't know, if it's like about 3 times a month, it's
Yeah.
definitely not as much time as you guys would put into it.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not trying to say that like I deserve that less than 1%, but I don't think I deserve.
Do you know,
one third of
like
the cut.
roughly speaking, where would you want to lie on that scale?
Okay. So this is where you want to get to, right? Like, how
Huh?
do we?
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to profit, how do we split this?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I feel like definitely not less than 1%. Right? So, okay. And then it's really hard for me to think that I do hold, I guess, the popularity.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to get into
You're so
that.
humble.
I have to get into that. Okay. Well, let's put it this way. If I decide to, because what's the worst that would happen if I decide to pull out, right?
Yeah.
Of the channel, how much profit do you think you'll lose? Like how
Really hard to quantify.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's the part that I think that I'm worth. But then it's really hard to quantify. And
Right.
then we would have to. I believe that we can come to a conclusion together. But then yes, I think that also depends on what you guys both think my contribution is worth.
You guys are the founding members. The channel is not would not be successful without you two, you know? I was like, cause you can always hire outside and try to make it work, but when you're starting something from the ground up, a startup, that's kind of where you're putting more hours than you would a normal job type of thing, and you put more investment into it. So equally, when you start something like that, you should want equity, right? You don't think so? I was like, cause
No, I think she deserves it.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm just saying that just from judging from what I know about making videos and animation, yeah, I mean, I'm saying I don't deserve less than 1%, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's 33%.
Yeah. Okay.
It can be. I don't have a number yet because I don't. I feel like that's something that
It is interesting though. If say you see that actors and stuff, a lot of times they get paid way more than say camera rig people or PAs or anything like that, for sure PAs, but because they end up being the face and the driving force for the movie, right?
Because in a way, I mean, in a way that also makes sense because it's rarer to find people with that charm to carry it out, right?
Yeah.
And obviously acting is a lot. It's not that easy, right? So it takes talent. It takes, obviously, if they went to drama school, and it takes personalities, and it takes, I know. But then at the same time, it's well, yes, if I have to compare to this situation, well, I don't think I went to acting school. Let's start with that. And I'm gonna assume that I didn't expect this to be a career path, right? It started out as a friend, kind of fun thing together. It's just what complicates everything is that now that there's money, right, a lot of money is involved, and and unfortunately, someone who I thought is a good friend is not being
secretly a backstabber.
Is not being. So if it's me personally, me, what would make it the most unfortunate would be the fact that I found out this is who you are this way.
Right.
Yeah. And we've known each other for 10 years.
Yeah.
So to me, that would be a surprise. I was like, oh, you've changed a lot.
The coin's too good.
Yeah. So I suppose, that would, personally for me, that would be the biggest hit. But yeah, like I said, it's not like I don't think I deserve anything, but not 33%. Because I feel like you guys do the heavy lifting a lot. And I feel like, maybe, who knows, maybe if this is why I asked, if I were to leave the channel, and I think if it all comes down to just a crashing end, and we all just confronted each other, and then be well, now what, right? And I guess the bargaining chip I would have is well, what do you think will happen to your channel if I decide to leave? But then now you said that you bring a fourth person who's trying to
replace you,
right?
Yeah,
or
mimic,
what I can do.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's well, then then we will have to see how popular that person is now, and then in a way, audience is not dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they'll be able
They're
to
really
tell,
smart.
Yeah, they'll be able to tell that, like, well, if there's all of a sudden a new dynamic coming in, but that person is very similar to the most popular person in the channel.
Yeah.
Right? There would be questions.
Yeah. Like, it honestly, I feel like it's always better to, like, say if it ever came down to it, talk about these things earlier rather than later. And then even if, because I was like, when I found out about this whole story, I just thought it was crazy that this guy was, like, hiding, like, he was just hiding how much the channel,
The numbers.
Yeah, the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was just like, I would rather just have full transparency.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like,
But I think according to your personality, you would want to avoid this type of drama later.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we are all friends, we do believe we can grow this thing together.
Yeah.
Then it's better to just have everyone on board instead of just wondering, am I only making 300 a month while you guys get, like, you know? Yeah. So right. So that's our take, right? I think we can all agree that we would want to have a better outline, right, of where this is going early on compared to apparently what has happened.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it, like, I also wouldn't keep it like a static thing, you know. It could be literally like in the beginning, since say if you guys haven't really defined your, I guess, personalities yet, like your online personas, then the bulk of it would just be on the animation and the editing and all that stuff. But then as it grows and we clearly see like Tiff or Joey is clearly the shining star, then we can always renegotiate, I would think, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys are in a way like downplaying yourselves too much for me. I was like, yes, I do like the technical stuff, but like personality, like I wouldn't have this content without you guys, you know. And that's
in
a
the
very
story, right?
That's a very important part, because like if you want to look at the rest of my channel, it's all just me, and that's a definitely different dynamic than doing like this bantering, you know. So and this is honestly way more fun for people to watch. We'll just be frank about that. Alright then, on a lighter note, I'm thinking we should cleanse our palate, you know, watch something light. Red Wedding, what do you think? What? Rob should have seen that a mile away. Okay.